Hello and welcome to another episode of Leave House, Head Home. My name is Shiloh and I'm going to be taking you guys on my top 20 list of reasons to move to Israel. Here we go. We're going to start things off light, and my number 20 reason is you can go from skiing to the beaches in Eilat in just about 4 to 5 hours. So you're talking about a whole continent's worth of adventures in a single day. Now, bringing you to number 19, we got gorgeous warm weather almost the entire year. It'll naturally keep you a little happier, boost your energy, and keep you outdoors and healthy and active and fit. Number 18 is none other than the breathtaking, beautiful hikes and nature. We have incredible nature trails, springs, we got desert, mountains, every type of topography you could think of, and you can walk through the history of Israel everywhere you go. 17, we have beautiful beaches, world-class coastlines along the Mediterranean, the Red Sea, and the Dead Sea. Now, I'll start with the Dead Sea. Many of you guys have probably been there. It's a super unique body of water, super salty to the point where you can just lean back and you'll be floating on the beach. Now, obviously, we have the coastline from Tel Aviv Beach, Nahariya, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Haifa, Netanya, and so on and so forth. Beautiful beaches there. And we have the Red Sea by a lot. No shortage. Any direction you want to go to, you will find a place to hit water. Next, kosher food aplenty everywhere you go in the country. Now, obviously, you may have your own level of kashrus that you want, which is totally fine. It's up to you. But everywhere you go, you will be able to find kosher food, from the food courts at the mall to the airports and everywhere in between. So if you enjoy good kosher cuisine, you will have that in Israel. Okay, that brings us past the food and the beaches, because you can't move your family across the world just for some good weather and some shawarma. You need real world practical stuff to make sense. Which brings us to number 15, where we have free school and free universal healthcare, which is awesome. A lot of people move to Israel and they think about the financial considerations. How am I going to make a living? Well, this is a massive life expense that's going to be reduced to nearly zero. And it's going to be the schooling for your kids and healthcare. And we all know how expensive healthcare can be. To get private insurance in the States is a small fortune. And let's talk about tuition. Many of us may send our kids to religious schools or private schools, which literally cost a fortune. For my third grader, it cost us $15,000 a year. When I went to high school, it was $20,000 a year, and now it's probably 25 to 30, with some schools exceeding even $40,000. Now imagine how much that's gonna save you per year. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars over the span of your kids going to school, and that's money in your pocket, and you get to go to private school without the private school costs. We're talking about Haredi, Yeshivish, modern, Chiloni, secular, all types of schools at your disposal for free. Next, we got a top tier booming economy. Now, you might be surprised at that, as probably the world is, but it's a resilient economy, and the shekel is at a 30-year high. So when Israelis come to shop in America, their money is going a lot farther because of that economy. And when you move there, you're investing in your family's financial future in a country that you will build yourself up in, that's stable, secure, and can even keep itself high in wartime and tough times. Next. Number 13, this is a big one for the mothers out there. Better maternal mortality rates. We have incredible healthcare in Israel. The outcomes of childbirth are way above than Western countries, including the US. So here are the statistics. In Israel, out of 100,000 births, there's about 3 deaths, unfortunately. And you're not gonna like this number, but in the US, it actually got a little better, but it's at 18. So Israel, it's exponentially safer to be giving birth there, and the care is really great. So US just climbed from 24 to 18, positive direction, but it's still nowhere near Israel's safety for giving birth. Number 12, elite parks and public areas. We have amazing parks in Israel. And by we, I mean, I already feel part of it and I've been there 10 times in my life so far. So yeah, the parks are incredible. You see these massive towers and swings, and it's just something you don't experience in most other countries. And they have tons of like workout gear you can do with your body weight, and they have them all over the place. It's a great place for your kids to make friends and for the adults to come and socialize. It's kind of like your outdoor living room or playroom, and they're everywhere. So you'll enjoy some incredible parks in Israel. Number 12, the rising discomfort in the diaspora. Jews are increasingly feeling less welcome. In some countries to an extreme degree, in others, it's starting to boil up. We're talking about an anti-Semitic climate that's boiling up online. It's horrific. You can see it in universities in the US and in major cities, and in countries in Europe, it goes even beyond. So instead of acting as a guest in someone else's country as the culture shifts, here's a proactive way to be amongst like-minded people and supportive people in Israel. Okay. Now, beyond finances, and what really changes when you step off the plane is the human element, the culture, and the safety. Let's talk a little bit about that. Number 10, Israel is less materialistic and more meaningful. The culture is focused on family relationships and experience over keeping up with the Joneses. So the daily social pressure to flaunt your wealth and to just always have everything, or your kids to go to school and need the next best thing, these kids are playing in the dirt at the parks. They don't need the newest iPhone in the same way that you may in some cities in the United States. Number 9, we have an army dedicated solely to protecting us. The IDF is composed of literally your neighbors and your kids, people who love you and care for you. It brings a different relationship and a different element when your people fighting for you are your brothers and sisters, and they genuinely love you and would and do give their lives for you and for us. Okay, and in Israel, between people, between different sects of Judaism and different political views, anti-Semitism is just a family feud. So while there may be loud arguments in the street over who's online for the bus first, in the end of the day, these people have your back, will protect you, and they love you like a brother, and you gotta know that. Not to mention, wearing a kippah in public. Some places in the States, people tell me they put on a baseball cap now and they're genuinely looking back over their shoulder. In Israel, you don't have to worry about people like that, even if they don't agree with your political views. That brings us to number 7, tight-knit communities. An unmatched built-in social net wherever you go, where neighbors genuinely show up for each other. That means if you're in a crisis and you have to run, you will more likely than not have a ton of neighbors who are there to support you, especially the fact that some people leave their family members behind and don't have that built-in system, but now you do with the new friends that are around you. Literally become your family, and the kids can walk around more safely when you know who your neighbors are, and something that the US, United States, has lost a long time ago, where kids can just walk to their friends and be at home, and we don't have to worry about them. It builds their confidence, their grit, and it's just awesome to have that kind of suburban life brought back. Number 6, and I really love this one. I know I've said it for a few, but as someone who has struggled with depression a lot in his lifetime, in my lifetime, there's unparalleled global happiness in Israel. The global ranking of happiness overall in the country is number 8. It's been as high as number 4 in the world. Now, compared to the US is number 23. So Israel is head and shoulders above US in overall happiness. Now, I'm going to get to another point. This one may shock you. For the youth, for those under 25, the happiness scale in Israel is number 3. That's one of the top in the world. If you're a young person thinking of making Aliyah, you have more of a chance to be happier in that country. And let me just tell you, in the US, for under 25, the happiness ranking in the world is 60. There are 60 countries happier, the young people are happier than the number 1 country, and Israel's ranked number 3, which is incredible. And it doesn't mean that if you move to Israel, you're magically transported and your depression and will lift and your happiness will go up, but you certainly have a better chance, especially with the culture and the lifestyle and the way that the country is run there. So might as well go somewhere where you have more of a fighting chance if the US is not really working out for you. Okay. Well, just to explain a little bit about how Israel gets to that point, it's basically the all in this together phenomenon. When Israel's at war, when Israel's at crisis, and it does happen, people group together and they're there for one another like none else, including the Jews in the diaspora. There are no flights because they're all full of people who want to come back home to their land if they're from Israel, and those in the diaspora who want to come and help. It's a crazy thing. It's Achdus on steroids. We've all seen it after October 7th, and we've seen it unfortunately and fortunately throughout Jewish history, especially in the modern state of Israel. And that togetherness, that bond brings people to greater sense of happiness. We're all in this together. And we are up to the final 5. This is the core of the reason and the essence of why I'm personally moving to Israel, why we're packing up, leaving our house and going. And these are the deeper spiritual truths, and I'm excited to share them with you. Okay, here we go. Number 5, it's the ultimate Jewish homeland and country. It's the only place on earth where a Jew is fundamentally at home in their birthright. It gives you a sense of peace knowing you're no longer visiting, you're really settling in, you don't need to adapt, the country is made for you, and you're finally home. Number 4, your daily prayer and Torah learning are literally intertwined with the land. I challenge you to go through a few Prakim of Tehillim, open a Chumash, or open a Siddur, to Shmona Esrei, benching, or many other tefillos, and to not find something about Israel, about Yerushalayim, about Kibbutz Golios, about the Geula, because it's all throughout that. Why wouldn't you want to be in the country where every step you're literally living your tefillos and your Torah? This is going to be a huge impact on your kavana and how real this comes to life, rather than it being some out there concept. For example, it's abstract, they're just metaphors. You're actually living it, and it aligns beautifully with your prayers, and you just go outside and even the earth just connects. 3 left, guys. Number 3 is the culture. The default culture matches your culture. You have built-in Jewish culture instead of having to fit into a society that's completely not aligned. The Jewish calendar, the Hebrew holidays, and the Hebrew language are all the default there. The ultimate example of this that I can give is the Shabbos atmosphere and the experience. So on Friday afternoon, instead of the hustle bustle in the US, trying to get home, just getting the shower in time, just being in a little bit of a panic, in Israel, on Friday, the whole country starts to rest. It shuts down. Even in the secular cities, the buses start winding down, and the air is totally different. You can feel Shabbos through and through, unlike any other place. Those of you who have been to Israel can understand what I'm saying. On a Shabbos in Yerushalayim, or many yeshuvim, or even secular cities, the atmosphere does change. You can build a peaceful Shabbos for your family with much less effort than it takes in the state to get into that vibe. Okay, the last 2, guys. These were my biggest 2, and I had a hard time picking which one is which, and ultimately, this is what I decided. Number 2, Israel is an innately holy land. There's a mitzvah, d'oraisa, to dwell in the land. Every step you take is a mitzvah. So, beyond that, half of the mitzvahs in the Torah, nearly half the mitzvahs in the Torah, are actually dependent on being in Eretz Yisrael. And some will be in the future with the Beis HaMikdash, the Karbanos, the Kohanim, etc. But really, we have to live in the land for a Jewish people as a society to fulfill all the Torah. And if we're already working so hard, spending time, money, energy, effort, and kavana on doing mitzvahs out of Eretz Yisrael, why not move here and be able to do it in the fullest way, where every minute you're there is a mitzvah? And finally, my biggest reason, honestly, is that we're fulfilling the destiny and fulfilling the prophecies of the Jewish people by ingathering to the land. we already have seen almost half of the Jewish population of the world enter Eretz Yisrael, which we have not seen in a really long time. I'm sure in the past 100 years, you can see where the population of Jews went from very small, next to nothing, to massive, booming. So we're seeing it happen. And that's how I'm taking it, and many other people are taking these facts. Some people look at it and don't see much. Other people look at it and are like, wow, the Geula is literally unfolding. Maybe this video will get something to click in your mind and start thinking like, that's crazy. The fact that the Jews are literally in gathering. It's incredible. In this way, when you move to Israel, you stop being just standing by and passive, watching it on screen. You get to actually take part in the Geula, be there in person, on the court, as a star player, and make things happen. Now, that's the end of my list of 20 best reasons to move to Israel. And there are certainly challenges, there are certainly hurdles and trade-offs by moving to Israel. There's no doubt about that. But I'm here to really focus on the good and highlight that fact. Just like Yeshua and Caleb came back with good reports of the land, although there were other things to look at it, I'm sure they viewed it in a way where, yes, there are giants there. Yes, we might have to conquer a land that's very challenging, but at the same time, it doesn't detract from the beauty, the holiness, and the spirituality. And guess what? With Hashem on your side, you can go into the land in these days or in those days, and with enough bitachon, we know that Hashem is going to turn those hurdles and challenges into amazing things, and we're really going to have a win-win. And we know that because the Meraglim came back with negative reports and they focused on what they perceived to be bad, the Jewish people weren't able to enter Eretz Yisrael. And if they could have just come back with a good report, and it wouldn't have instilled fear and despair into the Jewish people, they would have been able to enter into Eretz Yisrael. We would have been able to build the Beis HaMikdash and have the Geula take part then. But it's never too late, because we are going to see it, Emir Hashem, in our lifetime. I want to give you guys a blessing to be able to be welcomed home very soon, including myself, to a thriving country that will keep getting better and better with time from the help of all of us. If you see a lack and you look in the country and you say, that can be improved, I wish that was better, that's stopping me from moving, don't forget, you can be the one to make that positive change for Am Yisrael. Which of these is your favorite on the list, and what did I miss? Please comment below and let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Most importantly, get ready to leave your house and head home to Eretz Yisrael with an abundance of health, wealth, spirituality, happiness, and holiness. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.